And howdy everyone, welcome back to another live stream. Uh, Apologize right off the bat for the confusion with the time I was streaming. I meant to have it for tonight, not tomorrow night. It's kind of funny, I was sitting here and I just happened to glance over and it's live in 24 hours. I said, what? Yeah, I picked the wrong night, but this is the night I wanted to do it. Uh, so here we are. As the description says, it's a different year, so it's time for the ETS2 All Countries Challenge for the VTC that I'm part of, or the Virtual Trunking Company. It's a competition to see who can get the most miles. Let's see what is the most kilometers. We do have a hardcore mode that we do play to try to get as close to real life trucking as possible. So that means no fines, no accidents, things of that nature, on time deliveries, so on and so forth. So that is being taken into account is the hardcore points that we get after we deliver a load. And something new this year is the total weight. I don't know if he's going to, our leader of our virtual trucking company, I don't know if he's going to give out prizes for those two categories. But I do know at least for the most kilometers, there is 3 spots for the top 3 drivers that have the most kilometers. And then there's going to be what they call an average Joe. So they will take the kilometers of everybody, average them out, and whoever has the most wins the average Joe. And then the least kilometers, and we all know what that one is. So, and what we do for the All Countries Challenge is we go from country to country, leg by leg. There's 33 legs, so hopefully we might be able to anticipate at least 33 videos. I will try to live stream all of them. If not, I'll do as many as I can. I might record some depending on circumstances, but I will try to live stream them just so I can get some content out there for you guys and you can kind of follow along as I go. But the first one, we have to start out in Frankfurt, Germany. This is where our VTC leader has his home company at, is in Frankfurt, Germany. And then in reverse alphabetical order, we have to find a load to France, then from France to Finland, Finland to Estonia, so on and so forth, until we come all the way back around, where our last load, well, second to the last load, I guess I should say, will take us to Greece, which is the newest DLC that just came out. And then from Greece, we have to go back to Frankfurt, Germany. Now we can go anywhere in Germany, then maybe add another leg to that, but we have to end up in Frankfurt to finish and complete the challenge. Some of these countries trying to get loads can be problematic, so that ought to be fun. So far, it looks like for the first leg, the kilometers to beat is about a little over 1,400 kilometers. I have not found a load yet. I found one that was close until I looked that up. I was like, yep, that one won't do. So let's go ahead and jump in here and see if we can find the load that meets our criteria or gets us as close to that 15. I think it's 1,416 kilometers is what it was. Try to get as close to that as possible. So I do have a flatbed assigned to the truck right now, or it's actually a floor container with pins. Or it should be. Thought I had it on there. Let's double check real quick. Yep, floor container with pins. All right. Back to jobs. Let's see what we got here. So coming out of Frankfurt, and we need to find something for France. one, going to DAX, and it's 1,300 kilometers. I've been playing ATS so long, I gotta remember to switch over. Let's check, and we can use any of the freight market, cargo market, external contracts, or external market. We can use any of them to find a load and go from country to country. You don't necessarily have to stay with one like with the SCS challenges, where we normally have to use either external contracts or external market. We're not limited to that. Oh, here's Tumbleweeds. How far is that one? 1182. That won't do. If anybody watched any of my other videos from last year's challenge, you might have a pretty good idea of what we need to do. So I, like I said, am trying to find a load out of Frankfurt, Germany into France that is over 1,400 kilometers. And this is a lot of searching sometimes. Calais, ooh, yeah, that definitely won't do. And then also, it's a lot of times, as you will notice, I am actually sitting in a rest spot. So, and we are allowed to do this when we can advance the time. But we can advance the time and go to the next day and then see what pops up on the board. As you can see in the description for the mods, I did manage to get Pro Mods installed. So it might give us a few more cities. Myself personally, where I think it comes in, Kelby, no, 113. Myself personally, where I think it comes more into play is when you get into like Finland and Norway. I can show you that here in just a second. Yep, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Because usually about right in here, it's cut off. So all these cities, and there's a lot more cities that's put in the southern portion, but all these up here are not in the base game. But we are allowed to use Pro Mods. There's a lot of other cities in some of the other countries. As you might notice, there are some extra ones in here. That might be about the same distance or a little further, the ones that are in the game. With Pro Mods in, but we do not go to the Middle East or the Great Steppes. We do not include any of those. It's pretty much whatever is out on the standard game right now as far as DLCs are concerned. Well, that's a whole lot of nothing, isn't it? So then we do the old shampoo thing, rinse and repeat. Or see, actually it's the conditioner that you do that with, isn't it? I don't know, I keep my hair really short, so I couldn't tell you anymore. It's been that way for about 20 years now, so. All right, now let's see if we got anything any better. Usually if I don't find something within maybe about 4 or 5 tries of resetting the board like that, you know, if I don't find anything, then I'll just try to pick the closest thing that I can find and then just do it, because there are other places where I can make it up at. Not many, but there are a few. Louise, that's that one, okay. Extra contracts. Now in future live streams or future videos, I might already have everything picked out and ready to go by the time I start utilities. But every now and then I do like to show folks exactly, that might not be familiar with the game, but show folks exactly the process that we have to go through when we do this. This will be what, time number 3, I think. Alright, come on. Place in France, come on. Bordeaux, 11.99. It's a little further, not too much further. About another 9 or 10 kilometers. And the longest one that we found so far. Oh, Lyon. 1,431. You know what? That one will do, and I will not need my trailer. But that's just fine. I didn't even see how much it weighed. Well, we'll find out when we pick it up. That's the air gauge. Should be up. This time it's not going to let me do it. Wait, you know what? We find a long one that we can use, and there it goes. Oh, really? Oh, we got it. Oh, there it goes. All right. Well, we got 3/4 of a tank of fuel just about, so we might not have to worry about getting fuel right off the bat. Now I reset in the ATS, but my little analog stick's not working. Whoa, truck. Analog stick decided, nope, not for ETS. Man, it's been a long time since I played ETS2. And as usual, when opportunity arises, I will jump outside the cab and give us the external view. So we can take a look at the countryside. Seems how I have Pro Mods installed, and there's a few more things in there that is not in the base game. That's also kind of cool about Pro Mods, some of the extra stuff they add that's not in the base game, so. So we gotta get on the motorway. Swing of things, you would think that the game be made by the same folks. Trucks would handle that's about the same, but nope, that's not the case. They do handle a little differently. Oh, but to continue on about the challenge. We do use a couple applications One is called Trucks Book. The other one's called Truckee. Trucks Book keeps track of the mileage for ETS, or in this case, kilometers for ETS2. And that is where we will get our reading from. Truckee kind of does the same thing as far as that goes. Let me out. You don't have to. Thank you. Truckee does the same thing, keeps track of the kilometers. And then we have to take the lesser out of the two, because sometimes they might be different within a few kilometers of each other, 3 to 5 kilometers. Truckee actually also manages the hardcore mode. That's where the hardcore mode comes into play at. Well, this is kind of a messed up roundabout. As I was saying, that's where the hardcore comes in. Truckee keeps track of that, and that's where we get our hardcore points from. Give me a ticket, and I ain't even really started yet. Top locked. And you probably, if you see my ATS videos, I've been driving pretty much straight through from start to finish. Every now and then I get a long one where I would have to pick a spot to stop for the night according to my rest clock, but I've got 10 hours 45 minutes. By the time we get this, it'll probably be about 8 hours. I'll have about 8 hours left on the rest clock, and because it is about 1,400 kilometers, I will be looking at the map and we'll be seeing if we can find our rest spot. Something I'm surprised that it's actually working like that. Huh. Because the Horry truck driving system that I use, you have to have the automatic turn signal shut off. You have to have that disabled. Hopefully our job is still there. That was free market, right? 22 tons. I guess that's not too bad. Yes, go ahead and dismiss my current trailer. And yeah, so make sure here to the left. No, there it is. Okay. Just on the other side there. I'm used to turning that off when I stop like that. So. But we got it. We're cooking with canola now. I didn't even see what we were hauling either. Hey, there you are. Set the map real quick. Oh, didn't take that much time. Oh, because we didn't have a loading screen. So, yep, we still got about 10.5 hours. All right, so we're coming out of Frankfurt, heading south, and south some more through France. You know, I think I almost took this route last year too, all the way over here to Bayonne. All right, but we got 10 hours, 10.5 hours. So if we do 10, we might be okay. Let's see, we're right there, I think. Or maybe, what do you think? Think 10 hours, maybe you should put us right about in here. Stick with it. Almost. We have about 3 minutes to spare. Let's take a look a little further back. Stop there. That's on the other side over there. Yeah, we won't be able to get to that one. We'd have to go out, go around, come all the way around. No, then we still wouldn't get to it. Which one way back here? That's probably that's probably going to be about 8 hours. That would be 2 hours wasted. No, say 8 hours. We'll push it. There'll be 3 minutes to spare, so push it right here. All right, let's get going. What are we hauling here? 22 tons of precast stairs. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm really surprised that's even working. Bonus. Use it as long as we can. Whoa, truck, whoa. You just want to go, don't you? Snuck through that one. I thought for sure it was going to get a ticket. Looks like we're getting some gray uncovered on the streets. Yeah, I had about 61% or a little over 61% of the map uncovered. And then I put Pro Mods on, now it's back down to 41%. So we're staying up here. It's kind of weird. Almost part of a pretzel shape. Saw a bus, or there's a bus up ahead. And speaking of which, as of today, June 6, 2025, it looks like ETS2 in the 1.55 or 1.55 update is going to put in buses. I wonder if they're going to change the name of the game too. No longer be Euro Truck Simulator. It would be Euro Truck Bus Simulator. I'm sorry, I guess I'm kind of a purist. It's called Euro Truck Simulator for a reason. Why are you putting buses in it? I guess in ATS, and maybe ETS2, they want to put in cars and trucks that you can drive as well. In charge making decisions. I just play the game, and I guess looks like we got a little befuddlement going on up here. It's a detour. For ATS, they are putting in a newer model of the Cascadia Freightliner, I think it was. ETS2 is notorious for that. This might put me in a what I call a detour loop. Let's take a look, see if I can pick an alternate path from here. Let's bring up the map real quick. Yeah, so we just might end up, yeah, see, we're just going to end up going in a loop-de-loop, and we'll keep on running into the same thing. So, yeah, so the exit's got to be somewhere in here. I'm stuck down here. Let's see if I might have to go to Stuttgart. All right, it's right here. And get back on track. So what's that do for us here? Okay, so it looks like we should be able to go straight on. So we'll go straight. And get some more of the road uncovered. See if I remember which button puts us outside here. Oh, it's not that one. It's got to be the first one. Nope, that's the picture. Oh, I remember now. It should be this button. Nope. Oh, this button. There we go. Took me a second. Over here, we're going to go to Stuttgart. Everybody duck for the overpass. Hopefully this doesn't throw us off too much for trying to get to our rest spot. It's a little more curvy in here than that map shows. Sorry, dude, didn't mean to make you slow down. whoa, where are you going? I may have been over in the other lane a little bit, but come on. Oh, AI aggressive much? I'd still like to know what those are. Is that a water tower, or is it the European version of a water tower? Those cone-shaped things. Ours over here are more of a, not really a barrel. Maybe a pumpkin. About as close as I can think of, but kind of a pumpkin shape. Bills built up on that hillside. I'm in my lane, don't get all crazy on me. To the tunnel. What do we have? 1431, something like that? Let's see if we can get back outside the cab again here. Oh. Now this is all blocked off too. What in the heck? I am gonna end up in a. I guess I should have went down this way, down through Zurich, and then cut across. Or then I would have had to come all the way back up. But that's going to put me back on this track to go back up to here so I can get stuck in the loop again. Advice at home, kids. I really shouldn't be doing it either because so we try to stay as close to real life as possible, but I'm not going to waste my time getting stuck in an endless loop. This is kind of ridiculous. Now see, why was that blocked off? But I got cars coming down here. That makes absolutely no sense. See, there's even more coming. I really don't mind because it might add kilometers to the trip, but I don't want to add that many kilometers. Besides that, like I said, that really drives me nuts getting stuck in those detour loops like that. I wish SCS would take another look at that and fix those. Here it is, and I know they actually increased the block for the helicopter. So they knew I should have went to the gas station. Did you see this that bus just wrecking my mirror there? Now see, they should have blocked it off there at the gas station, not way back where they did it at. You could have just taken the gas station around it. Besides that, never know, you might have drummed up some business for the gas station, fuel station, or petrol station. Okay, so much for my hardcore points. Thanks, idiots. They really need to fix the AI in this game. Because I know that one coming down the entrance ramp wasn't gonna yield. I had nowhere to go but try to slam on my brakes and stop. those hardcore points. Oh well, I didn't win with hardcore points last year, so I'm not too worried about that. I want the kilometers. Welcome to France. And that info screen letting you know that we crossed over, or we're crossing over into different countries, or different, I guess, provinces. I guess they might call them over there. I'm not sure. But different areas of the country. That's part of ProMods. I like that, because it kind of tells you where you're at. So that's kind of cool. Paris, Lyon, Belfort. I don't remember it. Probably Lyon or Lyon. Oh, I can't. After playing all that ATS last month, man, it seems like I am going so slow. It's crazy. A train up there. Or engine, I should say. What? Toll booth in France? No way. I don't, yeah, right side's France, left side is Spain. Or not. Or maybe pay, huh? Even though I got a telepass. Okay. That's why I wanted to jump back in the cab. Well, I'm not doing so well this trip. So far we've already had 2 AI cars sandwich us. And now I ran into the little barrier that you can barely see before I got back into the cab. Glad we only got 1,000 more kilometers to go. Woohoo! Having fun now, aren't we? Ooh, I wrote the 90. Yeah, that's right, we're in France. Can't go over 100 though. That's one of the stipulations also about our VTC. Anything over 100 kilometers an hour, this guy is driving like he's on the Autobahn. Anything over 100 kilometers an hour is considered race miles, and I would have to do the leg all over again. You Folks, do realize that we're in France, not Germany, right? This is not the Autobahn. These people are going to run me over if I don't get up to 90 kilometers an hour, I guess. Then I drain the fuel economy. It's one of the things that hardcore mode keeps track of, is the fuel economy. As well as fines, accidents, fuel economy. That's another part of hardcore mode that can affect your hardcore points. And now I feel like I'm racing more than I'm driving a truck. Here comes Logo around turn 1. Logging truck that's trying to keep pace with him into turn 2. We got 2 hours 51 minutes left on the rest clock, so we should be all right. Telling you, it's the road he had in mind when he wrote that song. You know, technically, I think it's about a woman. So, or getting to a woman, getting back to a woman. But this must have been the road they took to get there to her. And I have no idea where that is coming from, or if it's coming from the game. I don't know if you guys are hearing it. They keep on hearing a clicking sound every now and then. First time I heard it, I thought my eardrums were going to start to bleed. Just heard it again just a little bit ago. Hopefully that type of road stops for a little bit. Jump outside and take a look at some of the French countryside. And listen to the cars that sound like they need a lot of maintenance. See, that one doesn't sound too bad, but that is the police, so I expect their vehicles to. Yeah, see, that one's. Sound like a rough lawnmower. So we got a turn one south coming up. Jump back into cab for this one. Heading towards Lyon and Marseille. first, Sean. Hour and 25 minutes to go. So actually, while we got this rest stop coming up here. Yeah, see, that's, we got, where did I put that at? There it is. So we got an hour and 20 minutes. And what is it? Almost 4 o'clock. Yeah, that's going to put us in driving at night. Oh, well, what can you do? So, 11 hours, 16 minutes of trip time. 10 hours, 59 minutes, or 11 hours of on the rest clock. So it looks like we will have to stop and rest one more time just before we get to our destination. Looks like it. Oh, nope, there's an X. I saw that X. What is going on? Well, crap. Now I gotta try to get in, squeeze into traffic over there. Let's do this. See if this bus will let us in. Oh, yeah, gee, thanks. I know it was my mess up, but wow. Nah, nobody's gonna let us in. It's kind of rude. They are not stopping for nothing. Wow. I did not even come anywhere near you, dude. What are you doing? Hopefully leg 2 goes a little better than this one. Life of a truck driver, I guess. That's cool. You know, last I knew it was pronounced Leon or not Lion. I think. That was years ago though. I might have been wrong because I was probably, I was a kid when I found that out, so who knows. Yeah, that's a little too fast for 70 kilometers an hour. I'd probably say more like 50. Oh, sure, now it's outside. Yeah, that's certainly not 90 kilometers an hour. And if I'd have dumped the truck there, I'd have just went back and called this run good. Start it over again. Alright, coming up to another tow booth. Let's see if we can not mess this one up. Deliver or take any loads out of there. Myself personally, it doesn't matter. It's a game. Why bring world politics into it? But I mean, yes, I guess to be respectful to, you know, folks that are being directly impacted, I can understand that, but this is just a game, so. But I have to adhere to the rules, so I will not go into or out of Russia unless I'm playing in single player. But as I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to try to live stream all the legs. There are some that are really, really lengthy, so I might end up breaking those up into different parts. Kind of like I did if you caught any of my videos from last year's challenge. I broke up the longer ones into, some of them went up to like part 5, because I was getting up into the 3,000 kilometer range. And unless I have a chance to sit here and drive most of the night, which is probably normally on the weekends, yeah, that won't be happening. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But these short ones like this that are about 1,001 to 1,500 kilometers, I will definitely try to live stream. I'll try to do videos of the other ones if they're longer, or live stream, but like I said, I'll come to that. And of course the challenge may get disrupted a little bit, because I might have to do, I would probably say, they're pretty close, so I would say probably within a month, if even that, I will probably be switching back over to ATS and doing a new season of my state by state series, which this time would cover the new DLC release, and I gotta get over it. But we'll cover the new DLC release of Iowa. So that'll be kind of cool. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that one, because I heard my brother talk about it when he drove a truck. I'd like to see how they recreated the Iowa 80 truck stop. It's supposed to be the largest truck stop in the world, but I want to see how they recreated it. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Can't wait. But yep, I kind of saw some earlier. I can't remember if it was a video or a blog or something like that, but somebody had actually showed the map. And yep, there's about 12 cities on it again. Yep, like I said, I can't wait to do that. So our, just so everybody knows, our All Countries Challenge may be disrupted a little bit by the state-by-state ATS series that I do, or when Iowa comes out. But then as soon as I'm done with Iowa, we'll go ahead and pick right back up. Or I might mix them, depending on how I feel. That's a lot of driving. either way, it's not going to be a one and done with the All Countries Challenge. Besides that, I know a lot of the content creators. They actually, from what I've seen, I would estimate probably about 70% of them only do ATS for some reason. For the life of me, I can't figure out why. I mean, even though it's just a game, they model it on what's there. So wouldn't you rather see, like, places over in Europe where you might not have a chance to get to in real life? Wouldn't you rather see that? Rather than, if I wanted to, I could probably take a 6-hour trip and go out to the Iowa 80 myself and see it in person from where I live. It's probably between a 6 and an 8-hour trip. Just take a weekend, head out there. Versus what's the chances of you getting to Frankfurt or Lyon or Rome or, you know, something like that, especially nowadays with all the crazy stuff going on. So I'd rather just sit in the comfort of my own home and check out the countries that way. We are heading to Toulouse. Going to Montpellier. Barcelona. I think, yeah, that'll probably be the direction that we might want to go. In that general direction. Although it seems like it's been a quick trip. We only got about another 500 kilometers to go. Wow. Well, it does help we hit France and was able to do 90 kilometers an hour instead of 80. I don't know how people can drive that slow. It's only what? 60 miles an hour here in the U.S.? I don't know, I have to go out and look at one of the gauges in my vehicles. Come on, let's go, man. I don't remember what side the telepass thing they're on. The next leg might be a long one, especially especially when we have our Comods installed. See, we gotta go from France up to Finland, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the city that we left off in. We can actually go from any city in the country and pick any city in the country that we're going to. Like I said, to try to get the most kilometers. And with this case, I think, if I remember right, there's an island south of France that is part of France. So imagine going from there all the way up to the upper tip of Finland. That will be a long drive. That would probably be, depending on how far I get a load for, probably 2 to 3 hour stream. I guess it wouldn't really be too far out for me. Seems like the last ATS stream. Oh, sorry folks. I'm just sitting here talking and enjoying the scenery. But considering the last ATS stream I did was about 4.5 hours. And I had a reason to do that because I wanted to get my state by state and the Cruising Missouri event done. I'm surprised there's not a speed limit through here. A lower one. Seems how this is construction. But I wanted to get that all done because the cruising event that's put on by SCS stopped on June 8th, so I wanted to make sure I got that done. As well as my series. So I'm not having to scramble by the time Iowa comes out. Ooh, check out that castle over on the right. That is cool. We need to stop for a minute and check that out. That's too cool. Can we get a picture of it? Wow, that is huge. Even though it's not a photo op, but wow. Very cool. About 400 kilometers to go. Not just under. Actually, I am back. All right. So we got 690 kilometers to go. 4 hours, 48 minutes on the trip time. 4 hours, 17 minutes on the rest clock. 15 minutes of real time. Which will probably be a little longer because we got to rest. So just outside of our destination. So let's get back in there, hit up the map, and see where we will need to stop. So probably right here. 2 hours, 49 minutes. That'll leave, what, about 10, 15 minute leeway? Yeah, that'll do. Gonna get another repeat of the sandwich incident that we had earlier. So I was gonna try to shoot for the one on the right. Sure if that Coke truck is gonna let me go or not. You know, it's kind of weird seeing a Coke truck over here. I thought they didn't serve soda over in Europe. Fizzy water or carbonated water or something like that, not like the Coke and Pepsi, the sodas that we have over here in the States that aren't really good for you. Thus, that's why Europe doesn't sell it, but it might be part of just because of one of the mods I have in, or a real company's mod. Just putting it out there, just throwing it out there in a trailer. Oops, too far. Lords, Saint Sebastian. Hopefully I pronounced it right. If it's a river or a lake. just a wiper. Whoa there, little four-wheeler. Wow, you're brave in that little compact car. That truck up in front of us is hauling a fancy new trailer, or a fancy new tractor. Yep, there they're going. We shouldn't be too far away from our rest stop that we picked. Yes, I am well aware of that. See the marker just popping up on the GPS there. Jump back in the cab here. Don't need fuel. We got over half a tank, so still be good there. We are. Whoa, truck. Okay, last rest stop, and we'll finish her up. And now it's raining. Alright, 68 kilometers to go. Let's wrap this puppy up. Coming up fast. Whoa. Wow. Easy there, Andy. Andy Granatelli. Grand Prix, I think. Yeah, I think it was a Grand Prix. Grand Prix or a Formula One driver from like the 70s, 80s. Oh, 98. Ooh, I almost got up there, didn't I? I caught that in time, or else I'd have to do this all over again. Which I have had to do in the past, and you might think, especially with the kind of run that we have, where my hardcore points aren't going to be all that great and stuff like that, but, and you know, oh, I have a chance to get a little bit more kilometers, or your hardcore points better. Yeah, not always. We like I said, I've had to do it a few times, and yeah, I thought it would be for the better, and nope, not necessarily it affected the hardcore points. Those turned out great, but yeah, I lost kilometers. I got some curves back there. Go on right here. That was a little messed up. So it looks like we're going to Bullboard. Right there on the left. Alright, where about this at? That's not too bad. Turn around. Definitely like to try to jackknife the tractor trailer. Not lined up with the dock very well, but trailer unhitched. See what our results are. 1,558 kilometers. I knew that detour would add a little bit, but wow. All right. Yeah, truck's book says 1557. Not sure what Truckee will say, but I'd have to take the lesser of the two. And then we have to report that in a special channel on our Discord. So that way we can get it marked down and counted. I also keep track of it too, of all of them too, as well on a spreadsheet. So I will be marking that down myself and seeing what kind of hardcore points I get. But other than that, not quite 2 hours. Let's do this. Let's finish up with a little recap, if I remember. Okay, we started off in Frankfurt, Germany. It's south, I think. Yep, we got to about here. Then we had to take our little detour. Came back around this way and then kind of forced our way through. Continue down through here. Went south again. Then started to cut across. We didn't go that way because I would have saw the photo opportunity, so we must have turned here. Nope. Continue straight on down. Okay, but I didn't see that one. So yeah, we must have came this way. Must have cut across here. Yeah. I remember those two right back to back. I came down this way because we were down by to the east, and then into Bordeaux. All right, so then in keeping with the challenge, leg 2 would be from France to Finland. So that would be any city in France, which, like I said, would include this down here, I do believe. If I remember correctly, I think these little islands here are part of France. So I could pick something from down in here, and then I have to go all the way up here. Sweden. Norway, Sweden. I didn't believe. Up to Finland. And we can take a look and see if there's just to get an idea. See if there's any. We're looking for FIN in parentheses here. Nothing there. External contracts. Yep, there we go. 2,986 kilometers. This is a rubber trucks load, and that is the blue is 7 hours 42 minutes of real time. So I would have to finish it in that amount of time. So that means I would be driving some more. And I haven't seen what the some of the results for leg 2 have been. Take a picture real quick. Because I have seen that some folks are actually already up to leg 15, so they're almost halfway through it. Like, wow, must be nice to have that amount of time on your hands. I sure don't. I work a full-time job, so. And if any of those folks work full-time job, well, kudos to you. But yeah, that will be my cup of tea. That's why sometimes the longer ones I have to break them up. I have to break them up into shorter runs. And of course, Discord wants to update. But anyway, that's what would entail the next one. Yeah, and see, that's even a city in southern Finland. So imagine if I got a trip from down there all the, even that city beyond that I'm in right now, and got a trip all the way up to here. So that's probably about another what, 1,000 some kilometers right there. That would be probably, yeah, about a 3 hour run. 1,000 kilometers usually takes me about an hour to do. So it would be a 3 hour run real time. Getting out last year, I know I was delivered, I think it was this one. It was one of these two. I did a run, and I got to the M&Ns, did a run all the way up here to the tip of Finland, or Norway, excuse me. Real pretty up here too. They did the folks at ProMods did a good job putting that in there. Yep, I got all the way up there. That was one of those five. I think that was a 6-parter